Bum, 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 bum. The Peter Like Show. Bum, 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 bum. So I interviewed at a couple jobs this past month at two tech startups and a community college. And I make it a rule absolutely, I will never apply to a job that has this one particular policy. And this policy became really popular during the pandemic. The idea that employees should be allowed to donate their paid time off, vacation time to a fellow colleague who has a special need, right? Now, it's great in principle. By the way, I have nothing against my colleagues who decide to have children or have a medical emergency, get COVID. God forbid, if you have COVID, stay home. I don't want to see you in the office. I have no problem with that. The problem I have is um, that it creates a really abusive relationship, right? You see a colleague who's 8.5 months pregnant. You see a colleague who's about to cough up their guts. It's impossible to not give them your paid time off, right? And I had a little bit of a situation today that taught me the value of my time, and I really can't afford to be giving my time away anymore. I got an art show that I'm preparing for next Friday, a week from today. And at the same time, I desperately need to go out there to network with people, but I'm stuck at home pouring bismuth. And then I realize that every moment I'm pouring bismuth, I'm not going out there to network with the right person. Every moment that I'm pouring bismuth, I'm not sleeping right. And vice versa, right? Every moment I'm sleeping, I'm not out there meeting the right person. Although sometimes in my sleep, I come up with interesting pickup lines. So maybe it's not a complete loss, but you get the idea, right? Every day that I give my colleague to tend to her pregnancy is a day that I can't be pouring bismuth and all that. Now, here's the thing. I don't have a problem with childbirth. After all, somebody did give birth to me, and after all, somebody's going to give birth to the person that I do eventually meet, right? And who knows, maybe I may have children someday. So I don't have a big problem with that. My problem is that if it makes sense for somebody to take a day off because of childbirth, because of COVID-19, then it makes sense for them to take a day off, right? It shouldn't depend on whether or not certain numbers are in a spreadsheet, right? God, this is something that a first grader could tell you, right? If somebody's giving birth, having a pregnancy complication, has COVID-19, they need a day off. It has nothing to do with whether certain numbers are in a certain place, right? That's the stupidest thing I've ever heard of. And it's a really abusive policy, in my opinion. Anyways, so I make it a practice to not support companies that have such a policy. This is the Peter Like Show. Bum 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 bum.